Hello everyone, I'm Colin Kinnett. Over the last few weeks I've received a few emails from some new woodworkers who've acquired router tables. And they've asked me what sort of accessories they should be looking at to add to their router table. And I thought, I bet you there's lots of people who are in the same position. They'd like to know that information as well. So today I'm doing a brief video on some of the accessories I use around my router table, and maybe that'll be helpful to others as well. Let's get started. So today I want to start off with a router bit cabinet or some kind of a storage place. Now you may wonder why this is an accessory. Let me tell you why. When you have a router bit place where you can store everything, some kind of a cabinet, it makes it much easier, and in a lot of cases it makes it safer to use your router table. Now I made this cabinet I think about 20 years ago, and when I first put my router bits in it, I think I had 5 router bits, and so I only buy router bits when I need them, and I've added 1 or 2 or 3 a year, and in 15 years, next thing you know, you've got 30 router bits or so. Some of these are some old collectibles that I only paid 50 cents for. I wouldn't use them, but I just picked them up on a bit of a lark. But it holds more than just router bits. There's many things in here that I use on my router table on a regular basis, probably on every basis. And there's a little screwdriver for adjusting the fence. There's a ruler, a straight edge for isolating bits, my fine adjustment for setting the height on my router, and a variety of other things. And I'll talk about some of these later on. But the purpose of this cabinet is to keep everything close and at hand, so I don't have to go looking for things. Let me show you the side of the cabinet here. On the outside of the router cabinet, I put a couple of standoffs here to hold my wrench, and that's of course my collet wrench there, because you're changing bits all the time. The other thing that I have, the router that I have, you can actually adjust the height from on top the router table. I don't use this much anymore, but it's handy there when I need it. I don't even have to open the cabinet. Those things are right there and handy, and that's why I put them there. Anybody who has a router table will need to have push blocks, and these are push blocks. I made these push blocks for myself, and you can see they're at a little bit of an angle, and the reason for that is I can use them 2 ways. I can use them this way to push things along through the router bit, or I can turn them around upside down like this and use 2 of them at a time, for example. And you notice that they're nice and narrow. It's easy to make, and I just use an anti-skid material, and honestly these are at least as good as any of the commercial ones I've ever used. So I'll put a link for that, but that's a very important tool for you to have on your router table. One of the accessories that you can get for your router table is something called a router lift, and it's a mechanism that will build into most tables and many of the routers, and it will allow you to raise and lower the router without having to go underneath and do the settings that way. Now, I mentioned earlier that I have a crank. This router that I have, it actually has a built-in lift, but I have to be honest, I seldom use it anymore, and the reason is because I have this flip top that I use all the time. I use it on every time I use the router table. Very often the first thing you do with your router table is to put the bit in that you're going to use, and when you're changing router bits, it's imperative that you unplug the router, because some routers are it's very easy to turn them on, so it's when you're changing bits, so you really need to make sure that you unplug it. And that's one of the things I like about this lift. I can grab my wrench, which is on the outside, lock it down, and I've got full access to changing bits right there between the top and the bottom here. Very easy to get at. When I'm finished, I just plug it back in and it's ready to go. Now the other thing, and this is the thing that I like the most about this, now normally when you're setting your height, you always set the height when you start routing. You never change height as you're going along. And what you normally do to set the height of anything, whether it's a piece of wood that you're measuring or using a tape or whatever it is, and when the table doesn't flip up, you know, you have to be down like that, and that's what I like about this. Look at this. I'll try and get this at the same angle so you can see on the camera. But there it is, and I can see, and normally I'm standing up here, so I can look right down there, and I can do my adjustments right from here, my fine adjustment, and I don't have to be down on my hands and knees. I get a better adjustment because I'm not working hard at it, but you can see just how easy that is when you can look right straight down that table right at that bit. So that's a nice little feature, and I'll put a link for that so you'll be able to see what that is, because I get lots of questions on that. There's another little accessory, easy to make yourself and something that gets used a lot in my shop, and I'll tell you why. Whenever you're working around a router, there's often a router bit in it already, and you need to take that out and put that somewhere. Sometimes you're working like this tongue and groove set, you're working with 2 bits. Sometimes you've got multiple bits that you're working with. That's very often the case, and you need a place to put them. Now, the problem with laying them down on a work table, a couple of things have happened to me over the years. I've inadvertently crashed them against a piece of metal, and when you do that, it's so easy to chip the carbide, and when you chip the carbide, that means that that router bit should never ever be used again, because there might be some hairline cracks on there that you can't see, that when it fires up, it's going to throw those bits of carbide out at you. So very important that the router bit doesn't roll off onto a concrete floor or crash against something on your workbench, and this is one good way of doing that. It keeps you organized, and it makes sure that you protect the carbide on your router bits, because these things are expensive, and the last thing you want to do is have to replace them because of a little accident of something like that. So very quick, simple to do, and again, just some scrap wood that you could do, and I'll leave a link for that as well. And there's another very useful accessory for the router table. This is a small parts holding jig, and of course you can make this yourself. You can use commercial knobs, or you can even make your own knobs, and the way it works is you put your wood in there that you want to route, set your jig up to hold it firmly on each side, clamp it down, set your router bit, and you're all ready to go, and it's firmly held in there. You don't have to worry about trying to hold it with your fingers or even with push blocks. It's just a good, safe way of being able to route small pieces of wood. And I'll put a link in the article so you'll be able to see how you can make your own small parts holding jig. Well, that concludes my video for today. Just a few accessories that you can use on your router table to make it more productive, safer, and more fun. I'm Colin Cadet for WoodWorkWeb. Thanks for watching.